I don't know about you folks, but I didn't know you could become food safety certified. Just quickly, we're running out of time. Assumption partnered with Allied in our search program. And in our case, we incorporated the predictive modeling elements with a different firm, but just to kind of tie some of that together, that certainly is an important component in whether you're using it in who you're deciding to send view books to, or in our case, you know, throughout the entire recruitment process. It's an integral part in determining what names to buy and being more strategic in that process, but also in you know, to whom we're mailing to, and deciding who to actually send a mailing to, or just who to send emails to. We also developed our own pearls, and that was certainly an integrated process in our search program. And then in our case, through years of testing and so forth, we're just doing letters in our search program, and probably a piece that could be refined and worked on going forward is the psychology component of that, in both the language that you're putting in, and if those of you that have looked at you know, the hundreds of letters that are going on out there or being sent, they tend to look very much the same. And so I think that, you know, my recommendation would be that would be certainly something to take a look at. But in our case with Allied, and because of some of the things that were going on, we were looking for a partner that could deliver on the execution component. And we ended up partnering with Allied in this process because of the price that they were offering, and the delivery of the promise on the delivery. You know, really to throw, you know, maybe use a sports analogy, all of the technology pieces is really, you know, making sure you have that great athlete, you know, on the team. But in some cases, it still comes down to the blocking and tackling, you know, the less glamorous piece. And I think, you know, it's you know, incorporating that blend and finding your partner or partners that can promise on that delivery. And in this case, you know, we found that in Allied. No rocket science in any of this, okay? Especially when it comes down to the blocking and tackling piece. But the weekly status phone call, you know, that was something that was quickly put into place. And sometimes that was a 5-minute phone call, sometimes that was a 45-minute phone call, but it made sure both parties were staying on track. And in our case, one of the things we were looking for was a quicker delivery of our search program. And that's kept us on track. You know, we had a workflow calendar put in place, and I have a slide quickly that maybe I'll touch on that was put into place that, again, was just an organized process that allowed us and allowed all of us to stay on track. You know, having a clear process, you know, the other reason why that made sense for us, it allowed us to stay on track with, you know, the other responsibilities. Here you are trying to, you know, make mission decisions and start working on yield, but you're working on the fall, you know, the next 2 years with your search process. So allow that process to continue to happen. And bottom line is what does it really come down to is what were the results. And in this case, that partnership has worked out for us. I'll just skip over this. It's in the presentation. Again, we're down on time. I'll spend the time on the results. As you can see, the Search 2010, you know, an increase of 50% so far up to this point, just on one element of our search program. So a significant component, but really what it boils down to was our response before March 1st. And so that we're already able to begin communicating with those early inquiries. So for some of our April visit programs, starting to build that relationship with the juniors and with the sophomores, because of beginning to get our search out 2 weeks earlier than just 2 weeks earlier than we were before, you can see the type of increase that we had. Okay? So for the sake of time, I'll just pass it on.
Just a slide behind you.